This is 91.3 FM, WCW in Worcester, Massachusetts, the Dr. Chris Radio of Horror program. And tonight on the show, we have Cynthia Fridsma on the show with us, author of Hotel of Death. Thank you for coming on the show with us, Cynthia.
Thank you for asking me, for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Now, you're calling us all the way from what country?
From the Netherlands?
The Netherlands. So it's around midnight there. And we're, of course, recording this around 6 p.m. here, but we'll be playing it out when the show airs tonight. So, I was looking over your website, and I saw that you were a big fan of Clive Barker and Philip K. Dick and Dean Koontz and Stephen King.
Yes, I am.
Some of my favorite authors as well. What Clive Barker story are you most attached to?
The Great Show. The Great Secret Show. I love it.
Have you ever read The Hellbound Heart or the most recent book that came out this year, The Scarlet Gospels?
No, but I did read Hellbound. That's great.
The Scarlet Gospels.
Also saw the movie.
Yeah, the Hellraiser. The Scarlet Gospels is the sequel to The Hellbound Heart.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. It's the official sequel to the book, not connected to the movies at all. So he finally wrote a sequel to his first Hellraiser story. And it has his detective from Lord of Illusion show up in it to fight Pinhead.
Oh, wow. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out if you can find it in the Netherlands. I don't know if it's been printed over there or not.
Oh, I don't think so, but I buy all my books from Amazon, so
Gotcha. Gotcha. For anyone not familiar with your current novel, Hotel, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Hotel of Death. It's about a vampire who's running the show. It is a bit like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets 24. So it is a bit of both worlds coming together. Only Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and this is in our case, 263-year-old vampire who fights evil, and she can walk in daylight.
Yeah, you said you were a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Was that the inspiration to want to write this book?
Yeah, a little bit. I was thinking about how it would be if someone like Buffy the Vampire Slayer will meet someone like Jack Bauer from 24. I don't know if you are familiar with the...
Yes, I'm familiar with 24.
So I thought take them both and bring them together. Let's see how it will turn out.
What made you want to set the book in Boston?
I love Boston. Boston is so similar to Amsterdam, where I live. History was made in Boston, just like history was made in Amsterdam. Boston is almost the same size as Amsterdam is, so I really feel some kind of connection.
Have you been to Boston before?
No, unfortunately not, but I hope to visit it someday.
Yes, you should definitely come out, as Boston is the capital of Massachusetts, where we do Radio of Horror, and you can probably pick up a lot more inspirations or other things to write in your book about. A lot, of course, great writers and horror people are here from New England, like Stephen King and H.P. Lovecraft. And of course, we have Salem, Massachusetts, and we have Mercy Brown is buried in Rhode Island, the first American vampire.
Yeah, great. Well, talking about A.P. Lovecraft, I used one ingredient from him. It's the Necronomicon.
Yes.
The Book of the Dead.
Yep.
And I've been using it throughout my story. And it's also coming back in my second book.
The Necronomicon's been used in several stories. Have you ever watched the Evil Dead movies?
I have.
Yeah, and of course there's a TV series now on Starz, Ash versus Evil Dead. And the Evil Dead and the Necronomicon returns in that as well. And of course, what's funny is that you can go into any bookstore like Barnes & Noble and buy a copy of the Necronomicon. It's supposed to be this
Yeah,
ancient evil book, but you can go buy it for $7.99.
yes, I got it as well. I have to admit,
I
I
don't
bought it
understand.
when.
I would love to meet the person who wrote that book to find out, like, where did you come up with all the stuff for this book? Because this is all fake. This isn't real. We live in a world of science.
It got all the spells in the book.
Yeah, I haven't tried one myself. Have you?
Oh, I have, but they didn't work.
Oh, they didn't work? Okay, all right. I tried summoning a crossroads demon once because I saw it on the TV series Supernatural, and that didn't work either.
Okay, too bad.
And of course, you're a big horror movie fan as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to become a writer? What was the first thing that you wrote? How long ago was it?
Oh, I was about 6 or 7 years old. My mom used to tell me a lot of ghost stories when I was little. At the beginning, I was a bit scared about them because I couldn't sleep. I had nightmares. But anyway, they inspired me to start writing myself. And my teacher didn't want to read them out loud in the classroom because they were a bit too scary.
What were some of the ghost stories that your mom read to you?
My mom was a bit could see ghosts for real. You know, like the guy from, like the boy from Sixth Sense. To her, it was a reality. And when my first friend committed suicide, um, I saw this bulb of light coming from uh, from a corner of my living room, and so I know that there is something out there.
Do you believe in the supernatural?
Yes, I do, but I also believe in science.
How do you mix the two together?
Well, I think it has something to do with, there's a law that says that energy will never get lost. So energy is forever. So I think that if you passed away, then your energy will get out in the open, and I think that you will get into another dimension. You can call it the fourth dimension. I'm using it in my second book. The idea, I mean. Yes, well, in my second book anyway, because there's a part on which one of my evil characters tries to create a wormhole to get the book back. I mean, the Necronomicon, it backfires, and well, you have to read it for yourself. And when it comes out in January or February 2016, so next year.
How long have you been developing your entire story?
I have been working on the second book since 2013 when the horrible attack on the Boston bombings was. I was shocked by it, and I decided to write a story about it, and I glue it all together. Terrorists and vampires working together, and of course, there's the hero, Sybil, who tried to stop them. And I'm now also working on my third book, which is titled Suicide. It's a sequel again on the second book.
Will that be set in Boston, Massachusetts as well?
Yes.
A lot of people have problems trying to focus and write. I myself included have been struggling with this. I have like two books that are incomplete. One is kind of published because it's published in chapters, but I want to finish the final part before I can begin book two, and I haven't gotten around to it. And maybe I need to wait until after Christmas is over to do it. How do you find the ability to buckle down and get something written?
I create a book map
Okay.
before I start,
Yep.
in which I point out all the important events that's going to take place, and then I put it down on paper. It's a lot of work, and and my second book is now finished, but I am sending it off to an American editor right now, on a chapter by chapter base. So, um, it's going great. So it's not very hard to put a story together for me. It's like once I start writing, I see it all in front of me happening, and then I put it down on paper.
You of course also have a animated series on YouTube that ties into
Mhm.
your book. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, well, the animated series. I created the animated series first, and then I started to write the book. It was very funny to do. Also taking place in Boston, but I don't have all the 3D models of Boston, unfortunately. So I had to make some things up. It's titled Hotel of Death, and it's fun to do. I do all the voices using a computer synthesizer's voice and morph it a bit so that it sounds more human-like. And because I have a slightly funny accent.
Well, I mean, I guess it's funny here. I mean, in the Netherlands, I mean, I guess anyone who's trying to speak English would speak that way. So, I mean, it's not that funny, I think.
Okay.
But you voice your own character, basically.
hmm
Who are some of the other voice actors?
no, I do it all by myself.
Oh, you do all the, okay. So do you do different voices for the narration and the other characters as well? The male
Yes,
characters?
yes. I got a special software to do this to render male voices.
Cool. And how long does it take to put together an episode? How many episodes are there?
There are now about 6 episodes,
Okay.
and I stopped working on them when I started to work on my book.
When's the do you plan on doing more with the second book?
Um, you mean if I create animation based on the second book?
Yes.
I was thinking about it, but it's very hard because there is also some reality inside the book. I mean, the thing that happened in Boston really happened.
Yeah.
The, the bombings, which really shocked me. And well, I don't know how to put this all together in an animation. I've been working on it with 40 animated people running on the screen, but I don't want to make it too sad, if you know what I mean.
True. Um, would you ever like to see your book turned into a movie?
Yes,
And who would
I,
you like to play? Who would you like to have play the main character?
the main character.
Sybil.
Yes, Sybil.
Sybil. Who would you like to have play Sybil? Out of all the Hollywood actors out there, who would you like to see play Sybil?
Oh, that's a hard question. Um, I really don't know actually. Perhaps perhaps Angelina Jolie.
Oh God, why? Why? Well, I think Angelina Jolie. No, just I think she's too big of a name. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody more low key because I think her name would take too much away from the actual character itself. Like people would just go see it to see her, not really seeing what you've done.
Or the actress from Resident Evil. I forgot
Oh,
her
Mila
name.
Jovovich. Yeah, I maybe I could see that. Or I'm trying to think. Maybe Kristen Ritter from Jessica Jones, the new Marvel show.
Okay, I don't know her, but
It's based off the comic book series Alias from Marvel Comics. It's part of the Marvel cinematic universe. You know, Iron Man, Captain America, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, maybe her. Do you is does the Netherlands produce any horror movies that we would be aware of?
Well, there are some horror movies in the Netherlands, but they are not near as good as the horror movies you create in America. You do the real thing. We are just amateurs.
Well, is the film studios and TV stuff really big over there?
No, it's not that big as compared to America. If you talking about Hollywood movie, people invest millions of dollars in one project. Here in the Netherlands, it's about 200,000 or 300,000 euros, which is about $400,000 for a movie. So big difference.
Do is it really hard to get published in the Netherlands, or do you find it easier than if you were trying to get published in the United States or um, anywhere else?
It's easier to get published in the United States than in the Netherlands because in the Netherlands people are not so much into vampires. Too bad.
If anyone wants to check out your stuff, your work, you can go to CynthiaFridsma.com. It's spelled
Mm-hmm.
Fridsma, and then of course they can find you on Twitter as well. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you give out your
Yes.
Twitter handle? Do you also have a Facebook page?
Yes. Also in my name, Cynthia Fridsma. On search for Facebook, and you will find me.
Fantastic. Is there anything else you want to give out about your books or anything else you want to say?
I am currently looking for beta readers. So if people are interested in reading a horror a book about vampires working together with terrorists, please let me know. Contact me via my website. Sign up to the newsletter, and I will send you a Kindle copy of my book.
Awesome. Well, Cynthia, thank you so much for taking some time to come on the show to talk about Hotel of Death and your upcoming projects as well. And we look forward to seeing more of your work in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me on.